Well, I would like to first talk about business has increased. It's up. I've seen 75% more clients this month than I did a year ago. The other thing that kind of keeps me up at night is we were in poor shape prior to the pandemic with regards to mental health because you have a fragmented system, underfunded system. Think about the mental health crisis. In a pandemic, we didn't have a fully funded mental health system prior to this pandemic. So now you have a crisis in the mental health system. And my concern, what keeps me up at night is what's happening to those people that can't afford mental health? What's happening to them?
Something, because I saw this and I just looked at it to share with you, is before you speak, let your words pass through 3 gates. Number 1, is it true? Number 2, is it necessary? And number 3, is it kind? Those are the words from the Buddha, you know, so that we need to always pay attention to the words that we give our children, you know. Are we giving them an opinion that is basically just something that somebody gave us, or is this really based on truth? And you know, how necessary is for us to share this? So do we need to share something that is not necessary to share? And are we being kind? Because just because I think someone has doesn't look good today doesn't mean that I should go and say, oh, you don't look that good today, what's wrong? You know, that is not kind or sensitive. So I just thought that that was such a beautiful, that I actually, you know, recorded into my phone so that I would have some perspective.
Part of what makes me unique as a psychiatrist in the alternative psychiatry movement, functional psychiatry, is a general trend to get away from being pill pushers. And now you're really getting me upset because a lot of the psychiatrists say, oh, hey, you're in, what are you in for? Depression, anxiety, try the blue pill. Oh, the blue pill didn't work, try the red pill. And you're tampering with someone's mind, their perception of existence, their reality, the template, the very template that they use to interact with the world. You're changing.
I say that integrative holistic medicine is reclaiming medicine as it was practiced before the insurance reforms that came in progressively in the 60s, 70s, into 80s. And both on the diagnostic and the therapeutic side, taking an integrative history of looking at the patient in the context of their personal history, their environment, their diet, their family history. And on the therapeutic side, rather than reflexively just writing a prescription, looking at how diet can be modified, lifestyle factors, and also bringing naturopathic treatments into play in reasonable fashion.
When somebody hears concierge, they think you're very fancy. You're very fancy indeed as a wonderful human, but not fancy, fancy man.
I'm the least fanciest guy I know. I think I have one tie and one suit. My dad gave me that tie many years ago. It was probably one of his, but you know, it's really more of an old time thought process, as far as, you know, back then you had a relationship with your doctor, right? You had one-to-one time. You weren't just stacking people 4, 5, 6 an hour, running them through. So that's really what it is. And it, you know, if you want to modernize it, then, if you want to think in modern terms, then I'm just trying to make it more efficient for patients, right? So that I'm not wasting their time or their money.
I think even though it's been scary for everybody to say, I don't know where this enemy is, we can't see it, it's, you know, camouflaged around with regular people. I felt like, you know, I work every day. I've worked day and night for many years. And I thought, I have never had this amount of time where I wasn't supposed to be somewhere. this is going to end soon. Let me appreciate this, be here present every day. I know, because I was watching you on social media, that both of us have tried to be really gentle with ourselves, but enjoy every day and push it to say, let me be in it.
Yeah, it's a huge piece for trauma in terms of, you know, the coronavirus as a global pandemic. You know, we would classify it as a shared trauma. You know, it's a traumatic event because it's a threat to our physical integrity, whether it's directly or indirectly. And there's a lot of different levels of it. You know, and one of the ways that we respond to trauma is sometimes by disconnecting. You know, you either get hyperactivated or hypoactivated. And when you're out in nature, you know, the technique of kind of grounding, you know, that kind of helps to bring back our disconnection to, you know, the sights and the sense. It's very sensory. So there's something very grounding, I think, for people going outside, you know, touching whatever they're touching, leaves or the sand, or, you know, just hearing the kind of the voices of people, or, you know, interacting in nature. It kind of reconnects you, I think, in a different way.
We started with Shanti about 6 years ago. I was 9 years old. We've just grown so much, and now we have 7 books, 6 fiction, 1 nonfiction. We have all our YouTube videos. We're in the Children's Television Network, which is the channel inside of hospitals across the country, which is amazing. We're in Adventure to Learning, which is in 25,000 schools, and Kid Doodle TV as well. And we take the mascot to schools and children's hospitals to play with the kids and have fun and teach them about mindfulness. And the best part is that they don't know that they're actually learning mindfulness or social emotional learning, because it's fun and there's music and there's games, but they love Wolf Shanti and they love the dog character. It's all about helping people and making a difference and learning mindfulness and being present and being in the moment. And especially for a young kid, if they can grow up learning that, then hopefully they will carry that tool with them for the rest of their lives, and they'll learn how to be focused and be in the moment.
Very happy to be able to help, you know, as much as I can, and join all the people that are, you know, also helping the world through the process of healing. And healing also, for it to happen, it also needs intention. You know, it needs an intention to drive that healing. It needs to be faced. You know, the situations, the trauma, pain, suffering, sadness has to be faced. And in order to do that, we have to invest. You know, we have to dedicate some time during our daily life.
It is a moment that is so important, and we cannot waste it. We cannot waste this moment. There are a lot of forces politically going on right now, an uprising or reignition of ignorance, hatred, unnecessary fear. And I think this is a time for all of us to, as I said in my little video, which I didn't even think would honestly have that big of an impact, but it starts with yourself. You've got to check yourself. Start there.
Marched in St. Pete's Black Lives Matter protest yesterday. Very, very proud of my city for how peaceful it was. Minimal police presence, very peaceful, redirecting traffic, nothing but a message but love and support. I did notice that, of course, social distancing, very, very difficult to maintain. We tried to keep a 6-foot bubble with really limited success. And I would say maybe 2/3, probably less, were wearing masks. So I really do caution. I'm obviously in support of the protests. I went out myself, but I'm very, concerned about people that may have pre-existing conditions, that may go home to their elderly relative or somebody that may be at risk, because there's just not enough safety measures in place. It's great that it's outdoors, but still trying to keep that 6-foot difference and distance, and still trying to wear those masks. I can't say that enough.
Said that this is the National Minority Mental Health Month.
Yes, it is.
And, you know, I think, you know, mental health, period. It doesn't matter what the ethnicity is. It is saying here that, listen, come out, come forth, And, you know, by you sharing gently your story and your journey, it allows people to step forward and to step out. And so I think that's why this is also important, that speaking that message of hope to somebody. So
Action has 3 elements, and people always forget the third one. The first one, of course, is kindness. And, you know, that's what you described from your family and friends and the fellowship. The next one is empathy, okay? Accurately being able to identify how you feel. The third one is action. Mm-hmm. No action, no compassion. The rest is just sort of wringing of hands, you know? We got to have action, and that's either going to somebody who knows what they're doing, and there are many kinds of action-oriented therapies that you can do. You know, and it does involve this vibration. We're resonating with the low vibration of the trauma and bringing it out.
For me, I always looked at it for compassion for myself as this is something that's happened to me. It's not who I am at my core. If I continue to allow that trauma to take over, then I become that trauma. Mm. So that's when I had to look at it for myself and say, no, 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 you're better than that. That's where righteous anger comes into the measurements of the 4-body fit method. And I'm going to go full circle about the generational part. And so working with the method and coming to that full circle of understanding, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? And how is this affecting me? We only want to usually look at the surface of like, oh, I'm trying to control my intake of alcohol. I'm trying to control my intake of food, but why are we doing these things? So you have to go deeper.
I mean, in a million years, I mean, never would I have expected anything like this. I mean, if any of us, you know.
No. Well,
and what seems like it's been a couple of weeks, honestly, it literally seems like it's been like months.
Yeah.
Already.
Well,
you know?
I listened to your podcast interview with that patient.
Yeah.
He was pretty fascinating, and he was in the medical industry.
He's a rep. He's a rep for devices. Yeah, he's a device sales guy.
Man, when I heard that he was at Jacob Javits and
yeah, it's crazy, right? And this was weeks before everything really went down, which just goes to show you. I mean, this has been in New York for months, you know.
So many things I want to ask you, but I really am super grateful. I mean, I think you know what I'm a super fan. Can there be a super fan of Dr. Mudgil?
I love it.
I want to just close the eyes and place one hand on our heart and one hand on our bellies. And take a few deep cleansing breaths. Just a moment to connect with ourselves. So much of our energy as we move throughout our days is moving out from us. And so it's not often that we're turning that energy towards ourselves and checking in. So just feeling the hands on the body, that breath moving beneath the hands. Remembering that we're human, we're here, we live in this body. And even though there's all of these shifting experiences occurring all around us, every day something different, more devastation, more fear, all of that, we always have our hearts, our breath, our power to choose the thoughts that we think, to choose where we give our energy away. So we're more powerful than we even realize. And I really encourage all of us as we navigate these changing times to take more moments throughout the day to just place a hand on the heart, take a deep breath, and remind yourself that you're here, you're in this body. And the Dalai Lama says, never give up. No matter what is going on, never give up. Develop the heart. Too much energy in your country is spent developing the mind instead of the heart. Be compassionate, not just to your friends, but to everyone. Be compassionate. Work for peace. Work in your heart and in the world. Work for peace. So thank you.
We gotta end it just like that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Namaste, my friend. Thank you.
Namaste.